Konnichiwa Minna, welcome back to another episode of Chai with Otaku. हम सबको ये जानकर बहुत खुशी हुई कि लोगों की काफ़ी एक्सपेक्टेशंस है हमारी सीरीज के साथ. सो आज हमारे गेस्ट वो लोग हैं जिनकी पर्सनली मैं भी बहुत बड़ी फैन हूँ. एंड डेफिनेटली दे आर वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रिस्पेक्टेड पीपल इन आवर होल इंडियन एनिमे कम्युनिटी. सो लेट्स वेलकम स्टूडियो दुर्गा.
Hi guys.
Hi, thanks for having us here.
वेल मुझे पता है कि स्टूडियो दुर्गा को ऑलमोस्ट सभी लोग जानते हैं, बट स्टिल लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द इंट्रोडक्शन. सो बासु सर, इफ यू वुड स्टार्ट प्लीज.
This is Rajorshi. I basically run Studio Durga and I'm the director for Karma Chakra. And with us we have Ananya, who is the assistant director.
Hello.
And we have Monideep, who's a core animator in the team.
Hi.
एंड थैंक यू. अगर आप में से किसी ने भी अभी तक कर्म चक्रा की मिनी सीरीज नहीं देखी है, देन प्लीज गो एंड चेक इट आउट. लिंक इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन. सो सर, who was the one who planted the seeds of Karma Chakra and how did this whole plant came to existence?
That's an interesting way of looking at Karma Chakra. Let's start with the soil. You know what I mean? I mean, everyone knows that in India to do something like this or to even be a fan, it takes a lot of work and everything. And so this has been more like a dream, like a lot of people, you know, बहुत सारे लोगों का ये dream है कि वो ऐसा कुछ करे. And you know, या तो आप manga artist हो या तो आप you know, you're a beginning animator, or you know, even if you're like well established and everything, so it's really hard to break the mold ki what is happening in the industry. So I guess hum jitne bhi log hain, we started out that way, just like any other person, you know, jo apne skills better kar rahe hain, and basically just huge fans of anime and manga in general. You know, when I was in like 6th, 7th grade ish, and it was just an idea. But then thoda karke, like, I'm going to give out some shout outs to Samadrita, so who's also a core animator on this, and she and Monideep were one of the you know, founding members with me beginning May. So yeah, it did start out as a story, and it took some time to happen, and we were doing character designs and things like that. और आप लोगों को याद है तो 2 साल पहले हमने एक दूसरा ट्रेलर निकाला था, which was like an experiment.
हाँ. Yes.
So that was the first draft of the idea कि ऐसा क्या किया जा सकता है या नहीं हो सकता है, या you know, try out करके देखते हैं. तो उसके बाद से we just sort of went back, you know, became recluses, studio recluses, and just for 2 years we concentrated on building a proper product जो आप अभी देख रहे हो. So but this idea and everything, and you know, just being a fan of and following anime and manga like a passion, and just building up your skills, that's a lifelong thing. You know, up till say 2016, जबकि हमें लगा कि चलो इसके साथ कुछ किया जाए, you know, let's just try and see what happens.
दिल में वो आग लगा रखी थी एनिमे बनाने.
Nice.
In fact, अगर वो आग नहीं होती, then we were not going to be able to see such an amazing result.
Thank you so
And
much.
I'm really glad we got to see Karma Chakra because of a dream. Like everything starts from a dream.
Yeah, but that's the thing, that the path from the dream to reality, because of the soil you're planting the seed in, it can vary in terms of difficulty depending on who you are, what you're doing, and where you're doing it. Any studio, any creative studio, कि whoever has honed a specific skill to an extent कि वो एक professional product के लिए use हो पाए. So everyone has gone through their own journey for years, you know. So when you bring all of that experience together and you collaborate in a way that everyone has the same vision, and not just in terms of story, but in the technical vision, the aesthetic vision, हर चीज जब it is unified into one one vision, then it sort of happens. I mean, and there's no way to force that. If it has to happen, it happens. So.
Yeah, it's also like this happens, and if you see those movies about a team rising up to the challenge of all those people who are like not that achieved in their life, but they have this one thing they can do very well. It's like a team effort. So me, Monideep, all of us do these things, some things which we do really good, and then when we come together, those things matter.
Yeah, so in a sense, like they say, I mean, if we want to take the conversation that way, they say that art imitates life, and sometimes life imitates art. So, just like the characters of Karma Chakra, who each have their own motivations, but they come together for the plot. So I guess we're sort of like characters in the plot of the team behind Karma Chakra.
Please, someone make anime of us.
Yeah, like Shirobaka Part 2.
Yeah, so what about the STEM part? Like when Karma Chakra came up with this whole idea and stuff?
The struggle doesn't end there, because executing it and finishing it, which is currently abhi hamara jo process is finishing the damn thing. And there's a lot of struggle to find people to do this kind of thing and to understand the the workflow, because we guys are doing something, a specific process of animation especially that ज़्यादा लोग हैं नहीं जो इस country में करते हैं. So the STEM is also like, I think it requires more struggle. Execution requires more struggle than just planting the seeds, because that's why I said that anyone can have an idea. So, and I mean, which idea is better is a subjective opinion. But then to execute it is, I think, where point for admiration lies when it comes to any studio or any creatives thing. So we try our best with the limited resources and personnel that we have. हम लोग अपना 100% ही देते हैं. In fact, 200% देते हैं. So
yeah, I can vouch for that.
I mean, like, yeah, definitely I agree with you guys. And what about the leaves of this plant?
The leaves are, I would say, or I know that the leaves are completely dependent upon whoever's watching our show. And हमने अभी जितना देखा है, which is like hardly anything of the entire thing, the kind of support we've had, that is the final fruit of the plant, one could say, So without that कोई point ही नहीं हुआ seed place करने का. So I think the fans are lifeline in that sense. वरना हम social पे जाते ही नहीं, हम there were many other routes we could do this from, but we thought कि we directly want to market to fans first, and we don't want any money from it currently. We just want people to enjoy the product and just know and believe that it can be done here. So, and we got a great response, at least up till now. We're really glad that so many people can relate to it, and it's our fruit for planting the seed, one can say.
I mean, as a fan myself, क्या कहते हैं, Karma Chakra is something I really like. And I have to say that my expectations from any anime is basically the animation, first of all. The traditional animation, like badi aankhein and those colorful backgrounds and stuff like that. In fact, the first time when I saw the new trailer you guys made, jiske andar you had that part wherein this guy drops the ice cube in the wine or whiskey.
Oh my
That
god,
part was
that
like-
shot was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moni did the line art for that shot.
Yeah. So that was a nightmare for
I mean,
them.
whoever
I mean-
did it was so splendid. It was
Yeah,
actually a treat for
Dare-
your eyes.
Yeah, it's the shots like that are what sort of suck the life out of us, you know, because shots like that, every part of the process में बहुत काम करना पड़ता है. So,
But then reaction like this is what's worth it.
exactly.
Yeah, because that was one of the parts that I actually loved a lot. I mean, it was actually that brilliant. So I really have to say, can I get an autograph? I mean, whoever made that.
Yeah, sure.
He's right here.
Yeah, I'm there. There.
Actually, it's sort of like a combined thing. So I back then I had composited for that shot. So basically the final look of it, that you can see the colors and everything, right? But just the animation itself and the way the eyes falls and everything, and in the shadows and the highlights and all that, वो सब कहाँ पे होंगे और क्या होंगे, even though it's expressed in line art, is so the foundation of that shot was Monideep.
Arigato.
That was amazing. Literally hats off to you. So now moving on to the next question. So were you guys a very hardcore otaku or weeb when you guys were teenagers?
Okay, who's going to answer first?
We still are. Like, we still read mangas every single day. We watch anime in our free time. We play games. We still are weebs. When did we lose our weebiness? If we are making an anime, we don't like, it's like the whole process involves us watching the anime, like absorbing the medium itself. So yeah, I grew up with, I started watching anime when I was like a kid. My mom actually wanted me to watch Dragon Ball because she loved it. So yeah, that's where I started watching anime when I was like जब हम 7-8 साल के थे, तब 5 बजे आता था ड्रैगन बॉल, 5:30 बजे आता था पोकेमोन, फिर 6 बजे आता था नारुतो. तीनों देखते थे बैठ के. और since 10th grade I've been reading a lot of manga, like, and I've bought a lot of manga as well. Like, I just went to that medium from anime. अब मैं anime कम देखता हूँ, manga ज़्यादा पढ़ता हूँ. मेरा ये है. Games तो अलग ही, the whole world is separate.
That's a whole different conversation, because all three of us out here are not just into anime and manga, but a lot into games and all. So, but then the best part is that we cover up for each other in terms of recommendations and stuff, because like me, I do watch some mainstream stuff, but I'm like super into the obscure stuff and the lesser known stuff, whether it's manga.
Yeah, exactly. Because mainstream, if you are going to check out, it's mostly filled with a lot of shonen. And shonen, after a point of time, you actually get bored of shonen. That you don't really, I mean, you enjoy shonen, but it's like you're not really that into shonen after you've watched around 100 of anime.
Yeah, because shonen by definition is it's for the demographic of early teens to late teens. So you're essentially a teenager. Essentially teenagers are meant to enjoy shonen, and if you are a teenager and you've enjoyed a lot of shonen, so then it becomes formulaic after a time, you know. It's same Gisapeta.
Yeah, exactly.
For 700 episodes or whatever, you know. So and I think every generation grows up with a different shonen, which is, there's a whole generation that grew up with Naruto, right? And before that, like when I was like I don't know, 5 or 6 years old or something, it used to show on Cartoon Network. It was called Ninja Robots. So it's this really cheesy 80s show with mechs and you know, some alien princess and stuff like that and things like that. So I had no idea that was anime, or it was animation made in Japan, or that one of the definitions for anime is animation made in Japan and things like that.
I guess none of us knew when we started watching anime that anime is.
Because even much later, when these Toonami things started happening, ये ड्रैगन बॉल वगैरह दिखाना चालू किया, फिर एनिमैक्स आया, फिर गया, फिर आया, फिर गया, और फिर प्रॉपर चला गया, you know, throughout the whole journey. And अब तो Toonami has a channel of its own, बल्कि even like I'm talking about my childhood and being the oldest here, they used to show Speed Racer and stuff like that, not the new one. Okay, they used to show like the 60s one. Okay, so 60s anime they used to show on Cartoon Network like way before Toonami and all, you know, Animax पे दिखाते थे.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, अभी तो बहुत easy हो गया. Like I mean, there's like plenty of these illegal streaming sites and of course legal stuff, Netflix वगैरह पे. And now that Netflix and all of these things are coming into play and their licensing shows that people with all kinds of different tastes would like. Like I watch a lot of the classics like Black Lagoon and you know Death Note to hai. I'm personally into a little more manga maybe, anime maybe, but
It's what Karma Chakra kind
would say. So yeah, I'm weeb wise, I mean we're just barely scratching the surface because I don't think we have too much time to weeb out here. But then Moni, you wanna say something?
Say about what exactly? Like,
you and your relationship with Japanese media.
me and my relationship with Japanese media is like, wow. Yeah, it's huge in the sense that I just not only like watch anime, but I also play Japanese games a lot, like VNs and stuff, which is essentially just anime at the same time. So things like
Do you mean like aero games and stuff? Or to
no, no.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Then?
it falls under
you
that.
got him.
God damn it, man. Oh God, why did I say that? I regret
Okay,
nothing
yeah,
else.
let's just continue on your Japanese adventures.
Yes, my Japanese adventures are just shonen games, okay? That's all. No, I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, I'll say anything. Okay, things like Steins Gate. So, if you're watching something like Steins Gate, it has mystery and all that, time travel and a little bit of drama. But if you're playing it as a game, as a VN game, so it gives you possibilities of multiple endings, right? So I like those kind
Yeah.
of stuff way more. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess even eroges have multiple endings, right?
Oh, I did not know. No, I don't.
Like you
Yeah, so my conversations when I want to weeb out or recommend something with Moni, I'm like, oh, did you watch this anime? He's like, yeah. And then the conversation ends all the time. I can't recommend anything to him because most of the time he's watched it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I can't do anything about it. Now I just watch mainstream stuff because there's nothing special coming around right now.
It was fun knowing about your teenage experience and your love for anime. Now moving on. आप लोग मुझसे definitely ज़्यादा better आपको पता होगा कि there is a difference between getting recognition for your work and getting respect for taking the initiative of making something new. So कर्म चक्र start करते समय आप लोगों के मन में ऐसे doubts या फिर a fear of not being able to create something that might reach everyone, ऐसा कुछ था?
Right. So, I think more than doubts or anything, if someone wants to do something, whether it'll succeed or fail, you just have to do it. Because otherwise, for obvious reasons, it won't get done. And I think although we have technical collabs with India and everything, that's why we have this title of the first Indian anime, which we do not want to, use as a tool to tell people ki you should be excited about it. That's the last reason you should be excited about it, but it is a reason. But at the same time, I think ki with our limited resources and we are like at any point of time sab milake, like people who drop in, drop out, or into the project and out of the project, and sab kuch milake at any point of time we are max 7 people working on this. So I think हमने जितने भी अपने experiences है production में, music skills, art skills, writing skills, हर चीज को लेके इसको जहाँ पे हम ले आए इस product को, I think that is what we would expect to be admired, भी नहीं बोलूँगा, but noted for. That some people are bringing these specific sets of skills and making this specific kind of product, and if you like it, well and good. If you don't but appreciate the effort, that's also fine. If you think that we are copying a medium, then you need to think a little bit, because फिर आप ये भी बोल सकते हो कि इंडियन हिप हॉप क्यों होता है, you know. तो मतलब कोई पॉइंट नहीं लगता उससे. तो
The copying part is more like, first of all, तुम्हें anime चाहिए इंडिया में, and second of all, you're criticizing the art style to be Japanese. It's like, it does not make sense.
the way we look at it ना कि अब हम ये कभी नहीं सोचते कि देखो हम तुम्हें क्या दे रहे हैं लेकिन तुम हमें क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हो. I think that approach is bad. It is a flawed approach and it won't build a good relationship between anyone. You know, even anime. Let's not even talk about Karma Chakra. Okay. अभी तो things are a lot better than Kinoko से लेके all of this. Like, there's a lot of, it's a tightly knit community. It's a well-informed community. So I think it's as a whole, the community is on a different level right now. Whatever is genuine we look for, and genuine criticism and genuine compliments and all these things. So I think that builds a stronger community, you know. Otherwise we would have just a huge bunch of people who just like it for the wrong reason, and you know, I don't think we would enjoy that much. So and you know, through things like what we are doing now, podcasts and stuff like that, so उसमें लोगों को एक आइडिया भी हो जाता है कि you know what the process is like, what the and we'll be talking more about that, you know, journey of this project and things like that. So
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, I felt really great after hearing the fact that for you guys or any content creator, it should be like that both the things should matter equally, and
both these things are important. Both these things are important, but what is more important is the authenticity, you know, which we are lucky to have with our Indian fans, you know. So it's a great thing.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, sure.
This one is pretty much like what each and every teenager at my age wants to know from adults. Well, is it true that adults ain't into anime as much as us teenagers? Because, you know, सभी otakus और weebs का ये common दुख है कि adults don't want to understand or explore anime world. And it's more like अगर हम लोगों ने बताए भी, या फिर they are previously weebs and now because they are working and stuff, they cannot be as much involved in anime as much they were when they were teenagers. So what are your views on that?
You kind of answered the question by your own, like in your own question you answered it, ki adults sometimes can't, people who were previously weebs sometimes can't weeb out as much when they're
except for that, like mainly like जैसे कि हमारे parents को ले लो that time, like that
and
this
you
is
know,
not बच्चों वाली चीज.
you know the sad thing, it's also because of, see, ultimately it's all because of a certain industry that is lacking. Because if there was a need for people to make anime art, then there would be more and more people who would make a living out of making anime art.
Anime, yeah, exactly.
And therefore there would be more and more people who would support you for continuing art itself or anime art, and therefore there would be more people who would support you watching whatever they would like to call it, cartoon or anime or whatever. There would be more support for you watching that and learning. But since the scope of creatives in our country is so limited, like let's say you're an animator, okay, in this country, what can you do? You can get into huge corporate frameworks that create kids shows, and which you may or may not like producing, but at least it'll मतलब तुम अपना पेट भर सकते हो उसमें काम करके, ठीक है. वो हो गया. फिर there are many different outsourcing places. Rigging के लिए भी there's outsourcing places, and for 2D rigging and 3D के लिए तो we are one of the best countries out there to outsource work to. So all the huge Hollywood productions have entire teams of Indian people in their 3D team. So it all happens in primarily South India and all the states of South India, and it primarily happens there. And it's amazing. So that side of it is really amazing. But when it comes to like hand-drawn animation or especially anime and things like that, and you know, there's not much you can tell someone. They say कि तुम क्या कर रहे हो? You know, you can't tell them back anything, because you know कि you'd either have to push off to a studio outside if you want to do hand-drawn, or you'd rather have to you know, you don't have too many options here. And in fact, it's not just watching of anime or drawing of anime, it's just art in general. You know, it's kind of I wouldn't say sad, but it's just very lacking in finding things that use your art skills and something you can you know, something you can use to fill your stomach, basically. And Muni wants to say something.
Yeah, the thing is, India has a lot of good 2D artists, but they are not utilized as much. So studios would hire them to do small stuff and not pay them as much, and like shoo them off. But as he said that India is basically, South India is a place where people hire artists as 3D animators. It's not like that. Like it's like that, but it's a really small amount. Most of the people are hired for VFX because India does VFX a lot and not the 3D rigging part. The 3D rigging part is mostly done in Filipinos. The Filipinos are really good at rigging 3D models and characters and all that. Even the animation part. And India तो बस घिस रहा है बस. They haven't seen the world yet. वो बस like लोग बोल रहे करे जा रहे हैं, depending on the demand, they're still growing. Like जो भी demand है basically वही meet करने का कोशिश कर रहा है. There's not much. This is the real thing that's happening here.
Yeah, and even for because see, I don't know if it's okay to say this, but we are slightly early to the game, because every other country that has made anime or helped in production of anime has always started with outsourcing. You know, so the countries being Korea, but now they don't outsource that much, and the other countries are, as Moni said, one is Philippines and one is Philippines, China, Malaysia. These three are the ones that you know, get work outsourced for anime. It's not of course people say that anime is made in Japan, but it's not entirely made in Japan. Although the core animators are all in Japan, but then there's plenty of outsourced work that happens.
Yeah, outsourcing, and whatever Indians you see in the credits, they work from abroad and they learned all the essential stuff abroad. So nothing happening within India that much.
Yeah. But
That's
coming back to the
sad.
question,
That's actually sad.
yeah,
It is.
I mean, it's just the way things are, you know. I mean, if you look at it, even what we are doing, at the end of the day, it's what we do. We get up in the morning, and right up till the night, we just go crazy doing so many different things to make this happen. And but end of the day, it's just what we do. It's something that we eventually, you know, plan to continue and you know, basically make a livelihood from. So the initiative से भी एक side point है कि we are trying to do this for a living eventually. So and it's only the community that is aware and who support us and think that this should happen to take it a notch higher, you know, take Indian animated content in a new direction. So it's amazing to have this kind of support, and so. But then, yeah, I mean, apart from the real reason why people would say ki cartoon mat dekh, art mat kar and all that, which is from a fear that it will not get you anywhere, and a justified fear.
It's because of the earning part, right?
I would say apart from that, like objectively, yeah, I don't think anyone should discourage you from watching something you enjoy, anime or anything. I mean, even if it's for kids, like, who gets to decide, right? I mean, they're marketing it to kids, but what if I like it? Matlab, in the beginning when I was watching a lot of anime, I've watched a lot of shoujo shows also because of the story, because of the pretty art and everything. So what's the within anime also, like, there shouldn't be any stigma to not watch a kind of thing, and outside anime there shouldn't be any stigma to watch anime.
Okay, so that was a whole lot of information and discussion. Like, बहुत ज़्यादा serious बातें हो गई. Now moving on to my favorite part in the whole discussion. That is anime quiz, our mini game time.
Awesome.
Okay.
Google खोलो सारे.
खोल लो.
This is cheating.
No, we won't. Don't worry.